Alright, Dalsim. Oh my god, I haven't played this character since season 1 either. I tried him a bit, he wasn't for me. Damn it. Ah. I miss Adon. Jaguar kick motions. Oh, well. Instant air Tigany? I think it's the original, but instant air Jaguar kick. I missed that. Anyway, Dalsim. He has very little changes. He got some more HP, no improvement to stun. Standing medium punch. Increase the advantage on hit from +2 to +4. Okay, so if you get hit, it's harder to jump in on it. Wait, if it's +4, doesn't mean he... It's first, like, it has, like... That's actually weird if you look at the frame data. Like, he gets hit, and it's +2, then it changes to +4. That's weird. It's like got extra hit stun. But it doesn't look like he got any combos from it. Okay. I can't find any. EX Yoga Fire. Increase the pushback distance on hit for the first hit. Increase the stagger time for the first hit. Reduce the hitbox for the second hit. Overall movement frames decreased from 44 to 42. Increase the advantage on hit from +4 to +5. Okay. EX Yoga Fire, that is... that right? Increase the pushback distance on hit for the first hit. No, wait, this might be Yoga Fire. That actually probably is Yoga Fire. Everything's fire with this guy. That's, yeah. Wait, what? Man, the input is lenient. Is that really it? Man, that input is lenient. I wasn't even trying to do a half circle. I was doing quarter circles. Anyway, okay. So, it's this one. Increase the pushback. Okay, increase the stagger time for the first hit. Reduce the hitbox for the second hit. Overall movement frames. Okay, so it's slower. And like because of the extra pushback on the first hit, it combos. It can like it combos for longer, I guess. Oh. How is it? Yeah. That's always a thing I found weird about Dalsim is the whole like you have to do the input, but if you do it too fast, the teleport is too close to the ground and then you won't get anything. So it actually is better to be bad at it. Well, I guess it's a skill to be able to like delay the input. But like I always found that funny. Anyway. So overall it got buffed. Reduce the hitbox for the second hit. I don't understand why they did that. But overall, it got buffed, so it looks like it's easier to combo with. It's easier to combo into. So, like... something. I don't know. Not a Dalsim player, but... looks like easy to combo with, and it being on the screen for longer is always a good thing. Puts more pressure on the opponent. Yoga Float V-Skill can now be cancelled from Crouch Medium Punch and Yoga Anvil. Crouch Medium Punch. Oh, is that a cancel now? It is. Okay, interesting. And Yoga Anvil is that... I think it's that move. Is it? It has a... no, that one. Interesting. So you anti-air, your instant get into float, and then you can probably do some stuff from that. Like, interesting. Okay, so like... man, Dalsim is such a weird character in this game. He's always been a kind of a weird character in all Street Fighters. A bit of a outlier. But he's fun... like, he's fun to play, actually. Like, he's hard to play. Interesting. Yoga Sensara can now be cancelled into from mid-screen and normal mode. Okay, so that's the fireball thing. That thing. So that thing. So can I mid-air no can. Okay, so if we said the 1,000 might be bad because this might be a bit hard, but like yeah, okay, like that. I guess it's like that because doesn't come out. Yeah, I guess that's new. Oh, it's a buff to the move. Interesting. Yoga Sunburst CA. Okay, and then they did some changes to the super. Okay, not a lot of changes. They haven't really touched him. I doubt it's because they think Dalsim is in a good spot. I really, as I've been doing these videos, I'm starting to think, what is it that makes Capcom balance what they can balance, you know? Because it really seems like they don't just look at the tournament scene. It really feels like they don't look at the tournament scene. Because it feels like they also, like, they're doing the StarCraft approach. StarCraft balance approach, if people don't know what that it is. That StarCraft kept into mind that they didn't also... StarCraft 2, for the longest time, didn't just balance after the highest denominator. You know, they didn't just look at the pro scene and say, okay, what's good or bad in the pro scene? Let's nerf and buff accordingly. StarCraft took into, like, you know, they have all this data for what characters is good in different skill levels, you know, like what character is good in Ultimate Grandmaster and StarCraft, what character is good in Silver, what character is good in Gold, what character is there a lot of in these brackets, you know, in these ranks. And they balance accordingly to that too, so they keep the pro scene into mind, and they keep, like, you know, the overall player base in mind too. And, like, that's not a bad approach. Like, of course, some people will always say, like, if you balance after the best players, the game will always be the most balanced. But that's not always the case, because a game that is only balanced after the pro scene very much, like, you know, keeps the casual player base out, or the, you know, the learning player base. You know, it doesn't need to only be the guys that play for fun. It can also be guys that want to learn the games. It can be very intimidating when the game is balanced after the highest level. These guys, you know, then newer players are expected to, you know, play as well as a guy that's been playing for 10 years. And that's not really, like, you know, that's not how you get new players to play. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, and I was just thinking, my point with this, all this rambling is, it seems like Capcom focuses more on the overall player base, and probably are looking a lot of that, like, because we have all the data, we can go to that website and see what characters played the most, what characters played the least, stuff like that. And I think Capcom is really looking at that data more than they're looking at the pro scene in a lot of regards. If it's the right or the wrong thing, I don't know. You can make your own opinion. But, like, I can see some parallels to how I used to follow StarCraft 2 a lot, and I can see some parallels to how StarCraft 2 did the balancing with how Street Fighter does the balancing. I would say that I felt like StarCraft 2 had a very good balance. It felt like they both really kept the pro scene in mind and the, you know, more casual friendly player base. It's so weird saying casual friendly in fighting games and StarCraft, because, like, even if you're just a guy that sits down and play the game for fun, you're still a very competitive player. It's still, you know, both games are 1v1 games where the goal of the game is to win. You know, the goal of the game is to beat the other guy you're playing. So even if you're saying, when I say casual, I don't mean, like, you know, casual. I mean a guy that doesn't go to tournaments, a guy that just, you know, likes to sit at home and play the game. And he might be really freaking good, even though all he's doing is just sitting at home playing the game. I know a guy that used to be top 300. My friend Ben here from Denmark, he used to be top 300 with Guile and Bison in season 1. He's now, like, he has like 10 top 500 accounts in Overwatch. He doesn't care about being a pro. He just cares about being good. And it's just kind of like it's that kind of, like, you know, person I'm talking about. You know, like the guy that doesn't really want to go to tournaments, but just likes to play the game. And that's what I mean by casual. Anyway, this came a bit away from Dalsim balance, but it's because there's not really a lot about Dalsim. Like I'm not a Dalsim player. I can look at the changes and can say, okay, this is probably why they did it. But he didn't really get a lot. And the reason he's not getting a lot is probably because there might be... Dalsim isn't even that played, is he? I don't have any stats on me right now. But like, I just can't understand why like a character that that hardly see any tournament use, that you hardly see in online, isn't really like getting adjusted more. They might be scared of making Dalsim good. It might be one of those characters where they don't want him to be like, they're probably scared that if they buff him too much, he's so weird and different from the rest of the cast. Excuse me. That that it just might just be intimidating for newer players. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at his V skill. I'm sorry for the small rant, but I wanted to talk about that. And you're watching my video. Deal with it. Love you guys. Okay, so his float is his V skill 1. What is his V skill? What? Oh, it's the one that changes the fireball. And does it also change the Yoko Fire? No, it's only changing fireballs. Right. Right. And then you can like... Ah, come on. And then like it bounces back. Yeah. Oh, that's dumb. What if you... you can't do air fireballs, I forgot. Can you just stay knocked down for a second? I wanna see something. Ah, damn it. Okay. Ah, damn it, I didn't put the V-skill on. Aw. I thought it would come back. Okay, so it doesn't work on the EX one. That's still... Is it relative to like... so like if we go to like... this whole way across the screen here and like we give a bit of space so it flies over him. Damn it! Damn, he actually needs a lot of space. That might actually be enough. Yeah, okay, it's relative to where you are on the screen. It's okay. So if we were to go to... How can I show this? Actually, I don't think I can do what I want to do. So if we do like this, you see... Actually, that takes a long time for him being just at the wall. Now that doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, that doesn't make sense. I'm not a Dalsim player. I feel like that should get fixed. Okay, so his new V skill doesn't work against the wall. Okay. And that's all there is to this V skill, as far as I know. Okay, so what does the... Since the EX one doesn't bounces, what does it do? It flies very slowly, hits 3 times. 2 times fast. And then 1 time really slow. All combos. Okay. Man, Dalsim has always been a really interesting combo character. Interesting. It kind of looks more like a Street Fighter 4 EX Fireball now. Dalsim EX Fireball, in a way. Okay. I mean, I'm not really a guy to like come with like an opinion on like where Dalsim is because of this, because I don't really play Dalsim. I hardly play against Dalsim. See, like I haven't played Broski's Dalsim in so freaking long. I don't know. I don't know where he is. I don't know if there's like... Oh, it's buffs. He's only gotten buffs. Let's like Looking at the list, he's only gotten buffs. Is his new V skill good? It's interesting. Is it better than the float? That's very hard to say, because the float is very important to Dalsim. I don't know, does he get... He probably gets some new combo routes with this. Yeah. I don't have... Ah, damn it. Wait, did that used to not... I don't know, I can't remember how Dalsim works. That's Dalsim. I can't really I don't really have a conclusion to this. I'm sorry. I usually have like a conclusion and we're gonna do some weird characters now. I feel like I've gotten through a lot of the cast and like only like the kind of let off characters that are left, and I'm gonna not really have a conclusion on them because it's not really characters you play a lot against, and or you know I play a lot, so it's just gonna be like, you know, a bit wishy-washy in a way.